Hey guys, how's it going? Darth Sebius here with the 14th Cylon.
Hello.
For another Sith and the Cylon. It's been a while since we've done one of these, but we're rather desperate to talk about Destiny and the Destiny beta that's just finished a week ago on Xbox One, because it was rather exciting, was it not?
It was amazing. It was so good.
But it's one of the things that's very Marmitey. People seem very excited and also not very excited. So we can talk about a few of the things and just kind of get into it and give an overview and just give a feeling and some fangirling, essentially. I think that's what's going to be happening.
Definitely.
So, sort of spoilers for the beta or possibly the beginning of the game. Just a warning here. Essentially, you seem to be dead, or a dead guardian, or a dead body of some kind, found by a ghost, which is
Peter English.
Peter Dinklage indeed. Peter Dinklage as Guilty Spark.
Pretty much.
Flying robotic little intelligence, which brings you back to life, and you presumably get a gun and start fighting the Fallen, whoever the Fallen are.
Pretty fast in there straight away.
You are,
You don't really sort of have any clue what's going on. You're just sort of like, oh, okay, I've been woken up, and oh my god, I need a gun.
And there's lots of rusty cars and Fallen guys trying to kill me.
Yep.
The cars, not so much; they're more decorative, but and dangerous.
Yeah.
But you fight through, and we find there's some weird things going on, and eventually you get to the tower where we meet the speaker for the Traveller, Bill Nye, in his epic mask, and he sort of tells a story. People found on Mars, I believe, a large spherical orby goodness thing, and that helped boost technology and lifespan and space travel and faster than light travel and all that sort of crazy good technological boosty stuff, a bit like the Mass Effect relays in Mass Effect.
But all good things must come to an end. All good things seem to have epic enemies, so this darkness turns up and just ruins the day.
That's something we don't really know too much about just yet, is the fact that there is this darkness that seems to follow the Traveller wherever it goes, and one aspect of that seems to be this army of the Fallen, which seems to be fighting you, but Bill Nye does like to make you very aware that they are like the tip of the iceberg. They are not the darkness. They may be an agent of the darkness,
yeah,
but they're not the darkness.
But
like the Collectors and Geth are not Reapers. Everything's a bit Mass Effect.
Ultimately, you just go with the flow because you're not really given much. You're not given much of who you are, or what your ghost is, or like what's happened to cause the world to be in the sort of state that it is. I mean, it's sort of alluded to, but yeah, you're very much in the dark, and you just go with the flow, and you just start doing missions. You just start, you're thrown in there pretty quickly, and just start,
questing and taking it to the Fallen and sort of trying to work out what's going on, using the temple, which is the last safe city on Earth, as your kind of base.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we are in the story, and you're sort of seeing what the Fallen are up to, and there's warlocks, and there's the talk of hives, and these other sort of opposing forces that are going on. That's kind of the flavour that you're given from the beta so far.
Yeah.
I can't wait to find out more, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because there is the female Batman, there is Batwoman, another Guardian that still you see as you leaving old Russia, and then was also seen again in the Moon event, pulling a Batman. You look over your shoulder, see a sort of mysterious figure, and they've gone.
Yes, it is.
So I look forward to finding more about that. There's talk of rogue Guardians as well. The Guardians are the defenders of the Traveller and of the people against the darkness. Yeah. So if you want to talk a little bit about the classes that we've seen.
Yeah, so there's 3 classes. I mean, I have no idea if there's going to be any more in the game, but we were presented with 3 different classes. You've got Titan, you've got Warlock, and you've got Hunter, and they all kind of tell you what they are already. The Titan is basically a tank. You're charging in there and take some damage while dishing out some. The Warlock, you're more you regenerate your health quicker, but you're no way as strong as a Titan, and you cannot just go charging in there. You have to sort of keep to cover, duck in and out. And the Hunter, which I didn't actually play, is much more scouty, but also close quarters. you're, I don't know, a bit of an assassin sort of feel to it. Like you have your sniper and you can do great damage from long range, but you also have one of your power ups is a knife, I think, and so really good for like really close quarters combat.
It's throwing knife, which is
awesome. Throwing knife, which is pretty cool. I really enjoy playing as the Titan. It's really good in multiplayer because you just most people in multiplayer love to go in all guns blazing, so it's nice to have that extra sort of like strength and health to keep you going.
Definitely, and jumping into a bunch of people pulling an old axe handle kind of epic smash is always fun, especially with if you upgrade it and you've got the extra wave of damage even after it's gone. Titan's going to be my favourite as well, but then I that is the only way I play, which is kind of thing that makes Sarah very angry when we play Halo on Legendary, because I just want to be in there smacking face.
On Legendary.
Yeah, which is silly, but that's why the Titan is definitely for me. It's the kind of assault rifle combat class, which is kind of epic.
Yeah, and they all look relatively different as well. So you don't look like a Titan if you're playing as a hunter, and the same, you don't look like a hunter if you're playing as a warlock. They've all got their sort of variations in the armour, and just sort of their build, which is really nice.
Yeah, the warlock's kind of awesome with the ability they have is they fire a sort of a spell ball, fireball type thing, which is kind of awesome. I really like the warlock for that. Also, I really like my warlock character because I had this awesome black female bald with and the skull face paint, so I had a kind of awesome voodoo lady kind of doing her thing, which is kind of awesome. I gotta say though, warlock was my least favourite class to play. The hunter was fun as well.
Was it? I didn't get to try the hunter. I did like my warlock, but and I played that first. But once I started playing as a Titan, I really enjoyed, because the fights, because you're in the game, you're not the only. There isn't just one enemy. There's two types, and they actually fight each other. So you can get caught up in these quite big battles, of at least sort of like 10-20 enemies, and it was just loads of fun just to be able to sort of like just be jumping and hopping about and just running up to people and punching. It was very, very, very satisfying to punch people. It just felt amazing. You just punched them and you just felt the impact and the headshots. It was just like, it's just really satisfying. So it was really good to be this Titan. So you could run in, charge in, and just be like, I'm going to punch you. And just take all these enemies out with just punches.
Definitely, I was loving my Titan. I was running around with my hand cannon and my power fist going on, pretending I was Sparks Nevada, just singing robot fists and timing the punch, pow, with a dragon in the face. I need to start making videos that make it look like I'm starting a fight. I realised this. But then Hunter's also cool, probably my second favourite of the lot. With the throwing knives and being a bit more kind of stealthy, scouty.
They definitely look
but also it's weird that duality, they're kind of really far away and then really close up, but can't quite take the damage. Is an interesting class.
Yeah, you're just supposed to be sneaky, isn't it? You are just supposed to be, the light-footed one. You're not supposed to go charging in. You're supposed to go sneaking in and hit people from behind. So it's an interesting way to play, and they definitely have the coolest.
But then again, you've also like
the cape. Everybody loves the cape.
Yeah, the cape is awesome, and you've also within that you've got the you can either be human, the exo, which is the robotic, and for the love of me, I've forgotten what the other guys are called. But they're kind of like subterranean, Morlocky humanoid type things that are pretty awesome. As soon as I saw one, I was like, I'm being them.
Yeah, Morlocky, I like that.
They are kind of Morlocky. Yeah. Without being so evil.
But yeah, so the missions.
So what do we have when we're there? We got the Old Russia Cosmodrome,
which is where that's pretty much where you do all your missions apart from the sort of bonus moon mission that was only open for a couple of hours. Yeah. But you're sort of mainly, it's very introductory missions to begin with. Like, you've got to find a ship. So That's the first mission. You go find a ship. Once you've got your ship, in order to be able to go explore other worlds, you need to find yourself an FTL drive. So that's your like sort of next mission, and then you sort of discover that the darkness is spreading. So you sort of start investigating that then, and so I mean they're quite. What do you think of the length of the missions? It's quite short, I found, but not.
They are rather low level.
Yeah.
At this stage, but the thing is, they kind of last as long as you want them to last, because
you can go up. It's not linear. Like you don't just have to go that way. Like it says your sort of your mission's that way, in that direction, and you can take whatever way you want, and you also there's other people, other players will be inhabiting your world, doing maybe the same mission or different missions, and you also get these awesome things called public events, which I always enjoyed every time one turned up. You're just on your way to your mission, and everything suddenly just goes dark. A public event, and it just sort of there were quite a few different ones.
Big War Walker, the Devil Walker thing.
Yeah, some big bug. It looked like a big bug.
Yeah, big
huge,
ant walker
big
thing.
Sort of like tanky bug, and you had to take that down, and they were tough to take down. And it was good when loads of other people or other players turn up to help with that public event. And I really enjoyed when we first heard about Destiny and watched some of the trailers, we were just like really weren't impressed. Like a bit gutted actually that Bungie was bringing out this game that we weren't that interested in. And because I mean, I'm not too big a fan of having other people that I don't want in my game, but it doesn't feel like that in Destiny. You don't feel like the other players are intruding in your game. They just happen to be there, and they can't interact with you in terms of they can't damage you, and they can't really hinder your progress in any way.
They can definitely point at you, and they can kind of get their boogie on with you.
You can boogie, or
I don't want to hold the boogie until we talk about multiplayer, because multiplayer, one of the most important aspects of multiplayer is boogieing. We will get to that in a moment.
Teabagging.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get public events. It all really like seamlessly interacts. You forget just like running around solo that you're online, that you're playing in an online world, and then until you see somebody else. And sometimes like I didn't see anybody doing something. So there are areas where there were loads of people, and it was loads of fun. Because some of the areas where there were more people, the enemies were harder. So it was really helpful having lots of other people, especially if you're like a lower level. But then
there was the last mission that has it does buddy you up, and there are certain missions, and I think there's the strikes that are going to be in the actual game, which you are forced into a group, and you do have to work together to a certain extent, because that was one thing I found. The last level you have to take out the Ant Walker again and a big Orby servitor thing, and he will get killed. And if you all die, then you restart the last checkpoint, which can be the beginning of the mission. So there is that aspect. But again, you don't have, as long as you guys are working in some kind of way that you want to work and healing each other when you need to, you can still be on your own and do it as you like.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to actually interact with those players. In terms of if they die, you can go and help them respawn quicker. But if you don't go and help them, they will still respawn. It will just take them longer.
As long as you don't die.
Yeah, if all three of you die on the team, then you go back to the last checkpoint, and and you all know the objective of what the mission is, so you don't have to actually interact. You can just carry on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We didn't actually do any proper teaming up stuff ourselves, although I think El Greeb was saying that he only played with about at least 5 other people in party, and he was saying that the way the sound works is amazing with that. You hear each other, like there's full-on directional sound in a very strong way, and also the distance comes into it, echoing in caves. And also you get to a certain point, and this happens also with your ghost. If your ghost is doing something and you go exploring, you get to a certain distance, and then it breaks into a more crackly vox link, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
As well, so it's more in your ear rather than actually hearing them.
It feels like a very perfected game, even though it was just the beta. It felt very I felt like I had the actual game, in my hands playing it. It didn't feel for me when I played the Battlefield 4 beta, it felt like such an unfinished game. And I know Battlefield is a bad example because it was a very unfinished game when it came out, but it felt almost like an alpha. Whereas this is, it's really just ready for release. I mean, it is just around the corner. It is just, they're just testing the servers. Yeah, we can't wait. September can't come quick enough.
So we talk about missions. I'll just sort of hop back to missions I wanted to add a couple more things about the sort of polishness of it. But so missions, like I said, we're finding the plane, finding an FTL, we're investigating things that are going on and being ready to kill people. There's also exploring, which is kind of cool. Because the world seems to exist, it is there, and when you select a certain mission, you may spawn in a certain area and be told to go to a certain area, but you are in the area.
Yeah.
But to really kind of get the most out of the whole area is these explore missions, and then essentially you just get your little ghost out, check for the nearest mission thing that's going on, and you find a little beacon, and it'll give you a little thing. These are not, at this stage at least, particularly story-based or kind of exhilarating things, but it's a reason to do more stuff and a reason to go further exploring and a reason to go around that corner and find that chest in that cave, and that's cool. Also, you've got Nathan Fillion and a bunch of other cool people giving you missions. That's another epic thing. Gina Torres.
If you play the Warlock, when you go to the tower, Gina Torres will be the person that you deal with the most, which is amazing. So got a great voice cast.
Yeah.
And another thing about the missions is the loot that you'll get. I really enjoyed like the loot system and picking up. There's chests to find, but you also get rewards after certain missions and things, and you get access to all the guns. Doesn't matter what class you choose. You don't have to play the hunter with a sniper rifle, because you get access to the pulse rifles and the scout rifles. Take your pick. But
you can even stack them up for specific situations. That's one of the things I was doing. I had my Titan with his hand cannon all through the game. I'm loving the hand cannon, boom, kind of big magnum type thing, but not so good in multiplayer. So then I just kept make sure I always had an assault rifle as well for jumping into multiplayer.
Yeah, and I didn't find that anything was really overpowered. So you start off low and you're getting guns that are doing like 20 damage. And then once you're up to sort of like level 7 or 8, you're, like I had, my hand cannon was doing 56 damage. So it was, it felt really like there was a good movement between the weapons. But you can find lots of weapons, but you find a lot of the same gun. So you'll just find like a scout rifle that might look slightly different, but it still does exactly the same damage. It's still got exactly the same stats.
But it might have different perks. The same with the armour. There was slightly different looks to some of the armours, and there are different upgrades that they can kind of, once you've earned enough glitter or glint or whatever it is that boost these things. So that's one of the other interesting aspects. You choose the outfit to go with how you play to a certain extent. Yeah,
it's like some of them will like pieces of armour that you wear will increase your speed at reloading hand cannons, and or reloading another specific weapon. So you've got a reason to swap out the armours that you have, even though they are the same. I felt like there was a really good amount of stuff to be had. I mean, they teased you at the tower so much because you can go to so many different people, like vendors at the tower, and they have this armour or weapons that I think some of the stuff was doing like 300 defense on just one item of armour, and it's just like you need to be level 20 to have that. But the level cap was level 8, so you just we couldn't even afford it. It's like, because the first time I played the game, I went straight to vendors, and I brought like the most expensive thing. I think it was like a level 9 something or other. Thinking, oh yeah, no, I'm sure I can get to level 9 because they're selling level 9 stuff. But no, I never got to level 9, so I just still have this item. I think it's a gun I can't use. But
definitely. I just realised I was calling the tower the temple earlier, so I apologise. When I was talking about the last city, I was talking about the tower and the temple. Should we touch on the moon before we move to multiplayer? The moon was an epic short event, and I'm looking forward to getting on the moon. Because the thing is, there's Earth, which is the old Russia, the Cosmodrome is what you had. You also have the moon. Is going to be a playable area in the actual game, and Mars and Venus, I think, is that's in the full game.
Yeah.
But we got the first, maybe the first mission of Mars. We're going in search of moon.
Yeah,
Yes,
first mission of the moon.
In search of a missing guardian, and steering a whole mess of trouble with the Fallen, and unleashing a temple full of acolytes and thralls and a very angry warlock, which is a lot of fun. It's nice to be in a different area.
It was a tough mission. I mean, every time you pick a mission, you can play it on normal or hard.
Or normal and hard and normal.
Yeah, so if you're like level 4, you can pick normal and you'll play it, and everything will be level 4, or hard would normally be like maybe level 8. And so you get stuff that would be like 8 or 9 in there. And so playing the moon mission on hard was loads of fun because it was a challenge. I found that, especially if you're playing as a Titan, playing stuff on normal was just really easy. Especially
if you're popping heads.
Especially if I was level 8 and I went and played something on normal level 8, it was just simple. It was like one shot, one kill with most of the people. So playing hard was nice to have a challenge where the wizard in the moon mission, you couldn't just go charging in. I had to keep ducking out of the way and sort of be a bit conservative with ammo, because if you die and you have to respawn at the last checkpoint, you don't like respawn as you were last time at that checkpoint. You respawn with like less ammo, and
so you spent all your heavy ammo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a problem I had a few times.
Yeah, so especially like you're running around with a shotgun and die, and then you respawn and you haven't got any shotgun ammo anymore because you've used it all in your last life, which was it's a bit of a shocker the first few times that happens.
That's proper
it adds
mobbing.
to the difficulty. I like that it's got complications. It's not just you die, because sometimes in some games you can use the dying and respawning to your advantage. You can just go charging in and do something and then die, reload, and you're, I can't think of a specific example, but you're at an advantage, whereas this makes it a definite you do not want to die sort of scenario, which I really appreciate.
And nothing with the temple and with a few other moments in the game, there is some proper. No, I mean the temple. The temple on the moon.
Oh yeah.
Alright, I know what I'm talking about now.
Sorry.
This temple on the moon, and a few other moments, you have this proper horde thralling kind of moment. I watched Sarah play, and she was getting herself nicely far away and taking them down sensibly, whereas I'm in the midst just going, oh my god, I'm drowning, and punching as much
I
in
was
the
a
face
Titan
as
at this point, and I was still like backing off because just the amount of enemies that were coming out of the gate. I was like, okay, I'm just going to give my space some space here so I can deal with them appropriately. Seb just likes to spin in circles and hit things, I think, really.
Shoot in the face. In the face, like, not headshots, face. Put the gun in the face. Before we move to multiplayer quickly, I just want to say, one of the things people have been saying is that it seems repetitive, and the MMO aspect seems to have that repetitiveness. I just want to say, in the week that we had the beta, I got all 3 characters to level 8, played through the entire story at least 4, maybe 5 times, played through the moon event 3 times, and nearly completed the max level on the multiplayer that we had. And not once was I bored. When Sunday night came, when I got kicked out last Sunday, I was devastated. And I just want to, if you're going to enjoy this game, I think you're going to enjoy it all the way through. And let's talk about, like, would people be keeping stuff? Would the progress be saved? Why would people want to do what they've done already again in the beta in the actual game? And that's ridiculous. It's just fun. And it is fun to do again and again.
Any other beta that lets you keep your stuff. And also, it was I think I heard that it's just 1% of the game. It's just an intro. It's for them to like test their servers and test the game, it's kind of not it's not for you. It's to make sure the game is is going to do what it's supposed to do.
And it bloody works.
Yeah.
I got kicked maybe twice, 3 times in the whole entire week. I know some people had a bit more problems, but
I
we really had no
problems.
issues.
Sometimes it was slow on loading between levels and going to the tower and going to multiplayer. It was frustratingly long.
You do have very pretty animations for that though, so it does feel somewhat seamless.
Yeah,
because there's always something. There's a reason for something, and there's sort of something to look at or going on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it sometimes can take a while for your ship coming off to the side. Multiplayer. Now, obviously, it's an MMO, FPS, OMG, LOL. Lots of type. It's a lot of games in one. But the multiplayer PvP stuff, it's not your standard MMO PvP. This is multiplayer, first-person shooter goodness, as we all know and love and expect. But it's just awesome. And it has no right to have this kind of multiplayer with the multiplayer aspect to the actual game.
It feels very Halo.
Yeah.
It feels very Halo Reach, I would say.
It's an important thing.
It's a very important thing, because let's just pretend that Halo 4 doesn't exist. But yeah, it feels like, it feels very Slayerish, but with a bit of hardpoint,
So the only game mode you have at the moment is the zone capture, isn't it? Which is the kind of hard
control.
Point. Yeah.
As they call it. So you're, basically there's 3 bases, and you just got to, keep hold of the most bases to win.
I'm sure there will be more modes in the actual game itself.
Yeah, well, there seem to be, like when you go into the loadout to pick the game type, there were loads of locked ones. So
it's good, almost 8 or 10, and there's a good few of them.
I'd say, about 8. But one thing I did find with the multiplayer is that you earn Vanguard points. There's which is specific to multiplayer, and really hard to not really hard to get them. You just don't get many. So if you win a game, you get 2 Vanguard points, and if you lose, you get 1. And what is it, like 100 Vanguard points to go up a level?
It was, but I'm still not entirely sure what it does.
Achieve it.
Because I got 91 before I was kicked out. It was
devastating. So I think it's around about 100 Vanguard points, and you get up to Vanguard rank 1. And for me, it just wasn't rewarding enough. I think I would really appreciate if they actually, maybe they either lowered the amount of Vanguard points you need to go up a level, or increase the amount that you get each game. And I'm not asking for much, but I just think it was to give you a better sense of accomplishment at the end of the game. I mean, because some of the games are freaking epic, and then you only get like 2 experience points, really, is all you're getting.
There are other experience and points that you do get as well. It's specifically the Vanguard and Crucible points. It's the Crucible points themselves points, yeah. that are the low point. You get 200 odd or 400 odd actual Vanguard points, and then there's also whatever the blue glimmer stuff is as well. You are getting rewarded. It's just the Crucible things is the hard and progress.
Yeah, but yeah, I would just appreciate just a little bit more progress each game.
Yeah. But we sort of know how that's going to be in the real game. But there were 2 to 4 levels, kind of depending on what events were open at the time. You had the moon, which looks like it's been painstakingly reconstructed from Moonbase Alpha, because it really looks like that, and that was awesome. You got the 3 points, and there's kind of one inside, one on a little outpost, and one with an overlook with some turrets and stuff. And that's the level that you actually have spawning bikes and sort of tanky jet bike things as well. So that was kind of cool.
And then there was Venus, which was like a jungle ruin, which was my favourite level. I really enjoyed that.
The best ever.
It was. I think the close quarters of it lended to me a more of entertainment. I like it when things are closer and happening at a faster speed.
That was the thing with the moon. You are running or spawning your bike a while, whereas you'll really have to go a few meters to kind of get into someone on the shores of.
The thing is, I found with the moon is that you're given there's turrets and then there's bikes and there's the tanks, but it was all but everything, all the bases were still apart from the one base, they're all very internal, and so you can't really you get in a bike. If no one else is outside, your bike is useless. And the turrets, they all set a bit back from where the bases are. But both the bases where the turrets were at were there's two of the bases had turrets outside and they were inside. So if somebody comes in the building from the opposite end of where your turret is, your turret is completely useless at defending the base. So
yeah, this is true. The close level though was just so much fun. You
just get to punch.
Lots of punching.
It's so much fun.
I just want to sort of talk about the points in that one, just because they were nicely varied and quite interesting. So you had point A was in a cave, protected by a little wall, but also there's a walkway the enemy can get in from the top and also round from the side. So you're protected but not protected. I'm going to go jump to C, because B is very important. C, you're just out in a sort of a jungle. You have a little bit of cover of the trees, but other than that, you're
like
very
exposed. Is it like the entrance to like a cave?
Yeah. Yes, the cave mouth. Yeah.
It's a cave mouth, but the cave does go through and actually leads through to A. So it's the second most exposed.
It's still got at least 3 points of ingress.
But it's kind of ignored. I mean, A and B are the ones that people fight over. Like C is just like a last thought, afterthought sort of.
Because B, in the words of Harry from in Bruges, it is a matter of honour. B is you're on a very exposed platform that overlooks a big jump and a smaller platform behind it. Essentially, people can come from the front, people can come from the side, people can come around from the back. People can snipe you. There's no real protection at all. But it felt safe. Like my lawn. I felt like an old man just being like, "Get off my lawn, you kids!" And that was awesome.
Yeah, there was many of a Xbox record that whilst trying to defend B. The amount of people jumping. I mean, the shotgun and the sprint and slide were your friend at B.
Sprint and slide is beautiful.
It's very nice to get you to close that distance and sort of and put the enemy shot off because you're just running at them and then bam, you're just sliding on the floor a bit, so you're a lot lower than them and just running there with your shotgun and yeah, it was lots and lots of fun.
One of the weird things with that level is it kind of looks like it's another part of the swampland level from Titanfall that you haven't quite seen yet. You go all the way through the ruins within the swampland in Titanfall, and you end up, in this level of Destiny. It did have that
feel, yeah.
There was in the Iron Banner, which was again a multiplayer event. They unlocked for a little while, with a couple more maps. They had a very industrial level, which actually looked like the other half of another Titanfall level, which is interesting. But then they're taking elements from games. That's a big thing for this game, and it's a big point of criticism, but also a massive point for praise for me and for us. I think is my main point about Destiny. I would have to say the overview would be nothing is completely unique to this game, but it's uniquely perfect in that way. From the lighting, the sound, the movement, combat, the multiplayer, the exploration, the vehicles, the story thing going on. You've got Halo, you've got some Mass Effects, you've got Borderlands. I think there's other things that are really coming into it, like
Diablo 3.
That's more of a straight up MMO, isn't it?
That's true.
Yeah. But these MMO aspects, you've kind of got all these games rolled into one, and yeah, it's not broken the mold, but I kind of think it has in a way because it's doing it this well. Doing all those things that well. I
mean, for me, I don't need for a game to be brand new. I don't need, like brand new stuff that, oh my god, I've never seen before. I just want, I want a really good story, and I want really good gameplay, and I want really good weapons and combat, and I I'm happy to have a quality product. I don't need it to be, you know, brand new in all aspects.
Engaging and entertaining.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
It does that. I feel myself feeling a bit like. Also, if you don't like it, that's fair enough. If you tried it and you don't like it, that's fine. But I do feel a bit like Russell Crowe. Like, are you not entertained? And how are you, if you're not, how are you not entertained? Because it is.
Yeah, it was. I feel like it lives up to the hype. I feel like it's since the Xbox was released. I feel like it's for me the most anticipated game that's been released. I mean, we really look forward to Titanfall and we really enjoy Titanfall, and I have no problem with the fact that Titanfall is just an online game and doesn't have a story mode. But for me, the fact that Destiny is going to be this full game where I can go and play solo, that to me I think makes it really exciting for me, and I'm really looking forward to having. I mean, we both love games where we can put hundreds of hours in, and really, really customize, play the way that we want to play. Just go off and do whatever we want to do. That's the sort of gamers that we are.
But also with that story, I'm intrigued by the story as well. I've got to say.
I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going to take us, and yeah. So for us, ultimately, I think the game's a big hit, and we can't recommend it enough if like it's the sort of game, style of game that you like, and cannot wait.
Definitely, I don't think I could fangirl over this enough. The beta alone is the best game on next gen for me. It is the next gen crown. When it comes out, it's going to take the next gen crown, and it's going to make Titanfall the prince. Titanfall is still amazing, and Titanfall is a whole different experience with multiplayer and stuff. But I just think the whole thing, both multiplayer and in the main game itself, it's the most fun I've had on next gen, and it has no right. It has no right to do all the things it does so well.
Yeah.
Because if the multiplayer should be quite shoddy, but the multiplayer laughs at Halo 4, like pisses itself laughing at Halo 4, because the Halo 4 multiplayer was just so poor. I'm sorry, I can't. I just. One other thing I want to say I wasn't sure that MMO FPS hybrid would work, and the video I first saw made it feel like it didn't. But now playing it, I love it. And it makes me excited because, remember before the Elder Scrolls Online came out, everyone was saying, give us multiplayer Skyrim. And Bethesda sort of went, oh, we'll have a go at that. And then they made an MMO. Now, I know Toxic's done a few videos on that, and it does actually look quite awesome if you look at it from a purely MMO perspective. For a multiplayer Elder Scrolls game, or a multiplayer Skyrim, that is not in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
Other than as a pure MMO like Warcraft or Neverwinter or games like that. But there's no reason this couldn't be a bow and arrow or a sword. So there could be some incredible fantasy games.
God forbid, hey, Fallout 4.
Oh, yeah. I just think there's potential, and I think this fusion of things, if it works, creates something new, and that is great. And Destiny, it feels preordained. It feels destined to have happened, even though it seemed like a stupid idea when we first heard about it. It is executed perfectly.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you kind of like to add?
No, I'm very happy. I can't wait. Yeah.
Awesome singing. So yeah, just can't wait. And when we get it, I'm sure we'll be sharing some videos and talking about the actual game once we've kind of got our claws into it. Once it's released. So once again, I'm Darth Sebius, darthsebius.com for all geekery and my own personal stuff all the time. This is the 14th Cylon, 14th.tumblr.com, and we are all both for Allies Index, place for all things geeky gaming, alliesindex.com. Check us out for anything. If you want to get involved, share your thoughts. We'd love to hear what you think about Destiny or about videos
your
and stuff.
Your experiences in the beta. Because I haven't heard if anybody's had any problems. It'd be interesting to see if anybody had any connectivity issues, especially when they opened it up to everybody, not just all the people that have pre-ordered.
Yeah. So that's that, and hopefully we'll do some more Sith and Cylon soon. So it's been a while since we've done one of these. We're kind of getting back in the swing of doing more videos. It's difficult, balancing the whole spoony lifestyle in gaming and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, AnalysandX.com, place for all things geek gaming, and we will catch you soon.
Cheerio.
Ta-da, bye.